You know, we have in the First Amendment both the free exercise of religion and freedom of speech, which is primarily political speech. And you can't separate those two. In the speech that Donald Trump gave today, he also quoted, and we're going to play that for you, he quoted Thomas Jefferson. He said, the God who gave us life gave us liberty at the same time. You cannot separate or destroy them. The hand of force can destroy them, rather, but cannot separate them. Now, that's what Johnson tried to do, essentially. He tried to separate the two parts of the First Amendment, saying, you know, we got political speech over here in this compartment, and then we have the free exercise of religion over here, and you can't mix those two together. Back in 1954, Lyndon Johnson nearly lost his reelection to the Senate because he was opposed by some very powerful clergymen who were speaking against him, exercising their free speech, doing it within a church environment. So what he did was he created the Johnson Amendment, where the IRS was told, we're going to take away the tax-deductible contributions of any churches who organize as corporations. That's another issue altogether. But we're going to take away their tax-deductible contributions for them and for their the people who made the contributions. We're going to roll that back with penalties and interest. We're going to punish them if they say anything political. And that put a gag order on political speech by religious figures. Remember that the American Revolution began with what they called the Black Regiment, the pastors who were talking to people from the pulpit, talking to them about religious freedom. That was one of the core grievances that the colonists had, which is why they came to America. You had people like William Penn who were locked up because they wanted to have freedom of religion, and there was an official state religion. They said, we do not want to have that. We want people to be able to attend the church of their choice, to be able to talk freely about politics and not have to face a jail sentence. And so that was a key issue. They didn't want to see that coming to the United States. That was a key issue and why they wanted to separate from Great Britain. And of course, it was the clergy who was organizing that. So that's a long-term American tradition that Lyndon Johnson and the IRS tried to shut down without any legal or constitutional authority, simply by intimidating people. And so you've had organizations for several years now who have organized Pulpit Freedom Sundays. And it first started with just 3 or 4 pastors who said, we're going to defy this unconstitutional rule. We're going to make the IRS we're going to put to the test their authority to enact this. And so they taped their political speeches that they did on that Sunday and sent those tapes to the IRS and defied them to do something about it. They did nothing about it. So then it grew to like 7 or 8. And then in a couple of years, it was hundreds of pastors who were doing this. The IRS never did anything whatsoever. So that was organized civil disobedience. But today, Donald Trump took it on directly. Let's play that clip. You have that clip? All right, before we go to that clip.
Thomas Jefferson, who said, the God who gave us life gave us liberty. Jefferson asked, can the liberties of a nation be secure when we have removed a conviction that these liberties are the gift of God? Among those freedoms is the right to worship according to our own beliefs. That is why I will get rid of and totally destroy the Johnson Amendment and allow our representatives of faith to speak freely and without fear of retribution. I will do that, remember.
Very important. He understands what the issue is. He directly goes to the point of the problem right now. The overreaching persecution of the IRS against free speech, he's going to shut that down.